That's what people don't talk a lot about, I don't think. One of the pains of hell, in fact, probably the pain of hell, is that you're going to be separated from God. And that is going to cause immense pain because the thing that you could have had, you don't have it anymore.
There's this video of this man who got a lot of things wrong in the way he understands stuff. But it really reminds me of something Msgr Rossetti once shared. I'll share with you right after this one.
Guess what, bro? I'm a Satanist, but I'm still going to heaven. Oh yeah, I know you're mad. Oh yeah, I know you're mad. Because guess what? I'm going to heaven. I'm going to be right with y'all. All y'all so-called goodies, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be right there with you, and I'm a Satanist. I treat people better than all of you. You never give back to your community. I give back to the homeless. I treat people with love and respect. I don't disrespect anybody. And guess what? When I make it to the heaven gates, God gonna judge my life for all of y'all other lives. And he gonna be like, come in, and he gonna, y'all that, all this other stuff, hey, yeah, go ahead, walk downstairs. Yeah, bro. Hey, the truth hurts sometimes. Sorry.
Now try and listen to this clip.
How do you lift spiritual blindness to God's truth for a family member? I get all sorts of questions like that. My kids have sexually confused, or they're into whatever, they're into drugs, there's a balance there. God respects their free will. Most of these people are adults, and we have to respect their free will. But don't underestimate the power of your prayers. Are there special prayers? No. I mean, basically, open your heart to the Lord and plead for these, for your children or your spouses or whoever you're praying for. I mean, so again, we can't force them but don't despair. We take Saint Monica as an example. She prayed for Saint Augustine, and she not only got it back to the faith, she became a bishop and a saint. So don't despair.
And there's another clip I want to share with you, this one from a former witch. She gets asked why women seem more drawn to witchcraft than men, and I really love how she explains it. Listen to this.
Because it is the women that actually go to witchcraft, obviously, mostly. There are some guys, but mostly women. And I think for women, there is a sense of power. A lot of women who have been abused, a lot of women who have been quite silenced in their lives, oppressed in ways, I do tend to see a lot of women that find their voice and find their strength are drawn to witchcraft because witchcraft will protect you, witchcraft will give you power, and also it's very it's attractive. Women in the woods and fairies and mermaids and unicorns and princesses and knights, that all leads into witchcraft. So I think even as kids, us girls are kind of exposed to witchcraft a little bit. For Halloween we dress up as witches and stuff like that. It's magical. So I think women, especially if they've gone through horrific things in their lives, and this is why I've got such a heart for witches. People don't understand that, and I think they hate me for it. Why are you so nice about witches as well? Because I was one. And I personally went into witchcraft because I loved magic, I loved helping people, but I also am terrified of the world. People have never been kind to me since I was a kid. I've always been a person that people naturally see me and there's something about me they don't like. I've come to accept it now. But I'm no stranger to being attacked. So having witchcraft made me feel like you can't touch me. My spirit guides are going to look after me, or my spells are going to protect me. But no, it's all a deception from the enemy. And I hate to see these girls trapped in it because I can see myself in what they are. And they're all good girls. I say this, witches, yes, there are some that wake up and choose chaos and unleash havoc. But most of them wake up and want to improve their lives, or they want to heal somebody. They're not realizing that they're actually doing the devil's work.
And he has talked about this before, the conversion of witches and what we as Christians should do for people still caught up in practicing witchcraft. Listen to this.
Father, what to do if by coincidence you come across a person with satanic symbols on them? Okay, what happens all the time. We see people with satanic symbols. You walk down the street and the things you see, these more and more these days, it's quite striking. And it wasn't that way when I was growing up. No one was a witch. I mean, that was ridiculous. And no one did all the satanic stuff. But what's going on today is just wacky. And but Lord will protect you. Remember, people say, "Oh, my neighbor's cursing you." You live a holy life, see the sacraments, pray. God will protect you. But understand that we're surrounded by an incredible amount of occult stuff today, which was never the case 50 years ago. I guarantee I was around them. It wasn't even thought of. So what if I walk by someone who's got a satanic symbol? I think I'll bless myself, and then say a prayer for that person. You might be surprised if you actually look at some of the people who have converted, who have been witches and Satanists. It's kind of striking. Go on YouTube and look at some of those videos, which I do, and I find it quite inspiring. The Lord does reach out, and that's why that prayer for trafficking witches on our website, for priests, exorcists, we pray for their conversion, because the Lord does convert many. The Lord does convert many. Someone asked me, by the way, I think I got an email this morning. She said, in purgatory, does my guardian angel go with me? Well, hopefully you don't go to purgatory, go straight to heaven. But, first of all, the church has never spoken about this. A lot of these questions are suppositions, are theological reflections, but the church hasn't weighed in officially on this. So officially, I can't tell you. But I do know, I've read some of the great Catholic mystics. And I remember one Catholic mystic who was a saint said that she saw the guardian angels with the people. So at least one source suggests that the guardian angel goes with you. I would say this about purgatory. It's a grace. In other words, life is meant to be a purgatory, preparing us for heaven, purging us, as I talked about, scrubbing us for the next life. And I think if you look back, hopefully, you look back at who you were 20 years ago, hopefully you'll see some progress. So you'll see that the Lord's doing His job. Might not been easy. Yeah, it's not easy, but the Lord's doing His work, and there's a grace of getting older. I'm not unhappy to be a little bit older. So it's a joy. And I would say this, you by God's grace, you really do understand the gospel message better as you get older. When after 7 decades of living, to understand the message, to really begin to taste just a little bit of how much God loves us, and how beautiful His mother is, and how wonderful the brothers and sisters who we call saints are there with us, and the holy angels who surround us. So it's a wonderful thing.
And reflecting on hate and the pains of hell and the conversion of sinners, allow me to share this particular story with you again. It was the day when the demon said to Father Amorth, "You're so stupid, priest. You know nothing of hell." Here let me share with you something from Father Joshua Waltz, as he shared that bit of story in Father Amorth's book.
That's what people don't talk a lot about, I don't think. One of the pains of hell, in fact, probably the pain of hell, is that you're going to be separated from God. And that is going to cause immense pain, because the thing that you could have had, you don't have it anymore. And that's what the devil wants, right? Because what did the devil had? He had relationship with God, and he lost it. And so he wants to inflict that pain, that punishment on us. Here's another thing I don't think people think about. There's a book by Father Gabriele Amorth. Maybe some of you have heard him. He's passed, I think, a few years ago, but he was the head exorcist of Rome. And he said in his book, he was talking to a demon in the midst of an exorcism, and he gave him a scenario, and he said, what if two people hated each other for their entire life? And, they were just mean to each other, and they hurt each other, and they hurt each other's families. When they die, do they go to hell and hate each other forever in eternity in hell? And the demon, he said, "You're so stupid, priest. You know nothing about hell." He said, down here, everyone lives caved in on themselves, torn apart by their regrets. There's no relationship with anyone. Everyone is in profound solitude and weeps over their mistakes. Hell is like a cemetery. For a long time, I thought hell, burning fires and flames and it sucks, everybody's in relationship. But if you have no relationship with anybody, and the only thing you can ever remember forever is every bad thing you've ever done, I can't think of a worse punishment. What's the worst punishment for human beings? Solitary confinement. But we still have God. You pull that away? I don't know. Something to think about.
And just before we get to the end of this video, let me share this clip of Msgr Rossetti on forgiving others. It's a very good one on forgiveness.
This is an important distinction. For example, people say, should I hate Adolf Hitler? No, actually, no. Demons hate. I don't approve of what he did, and I reject it. And can I feel angry about all the people he butchered? You bet I can. But I don't harbor hatred in my heart towards him. God will judge him, not me. And that's one of the, again, they talk about getting older. One of the graces of getting older is you let go of that, a lot of that inner sort of stuff. You begin to realize that holding on to hatred and anger first hurts you. It drags you down. Now, what can you do? Because every time this guy sees that people and he hates them, here's what I want you to do. Forgiveness is primarily an act of the will, not an emotion. That's the mistake people make. You might still have negative feelings towards this person. That's okay. Say, Lord, I make an act of the will, and I will to forgive this person. And what I've been doing, by the way, is say a little Hail Mary. For all the people you don't like, say Hail Mary. Now, I want you Democrats to pray Hail Marys for Republicans. Republicans say Hail Marys for the Democrats, and Protestants say, they don't. We'll say Hail Marys for the Protestants. So every time you have a negative feeling or thought about someone, say a little Hail Mary for them. Yeah. I do it, and sure, you get mad about things, and especially when they're evils. But we say, okay, Lord, I commend this person to you. I pray for this person's conversion, and maybe I'll say a little Hail Mary. So it's a constant struggle. Living a virtuous life is a constant struggle. It's not easy.
That will be all for the video this time. And as always, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us. And hopefully all of you have learned a lot from this video. Remember, if there's any feedback or suggestion, please let us know in the comments below. And until the next one, thanks again for watching, and may God bless you.